Five Super Fighters is a 1979 Shaw Brothers classic directed by John Lomar and stars a litany of familiar actors and actresses who come from various studios of martial arts cinema. The most recognizable in this bunch is Hao Chu-sing, who has starred in films such as Monkey Kung Fu, Snake in the Monkey Shadow, and Superpower. In this film, Hao Chu-sing stars as Master Han, an instructor from a monkey-style clan who is out one day with his 3 students when a dark cape character approaches him and attempts to pick a fight. It seems that this visitor from out of town claims himself to be a corrector of bad kung fu and goes about it by beating the crap out of anyone in the village he deems is not a good practitioner. After a couple of fights early in the film, he just so happens across Master Han and his 3 pupils. A fight ensues and our cape villain, played by Kwang Fung, beats up the old master and his students one at a time. After the fight is over, the students bring their master, who got the lion's share of the beating, back to his home. While he is resting and recovering, the 3 students decide to split up for 6 months and seek out new instructors to improve their kung fu. They leave in the middle of the night without giving their master an explanation, and when he wakes up, he feels bewildered and abandoned. That's it. That's the plot. The movie takes its cues from Invincible Shaolin, with the former doing it way better, particularly when we're talking about the training sequences. But first, we have to get to the pupils and their new masters. Each student meets their new teacher in various ways, and this should be easy to break down because each pupil's surname is Ah. So let's see. Ah Tien teams up with a heavy gambler and bad husband that he meets in a field. This eventual teacher is a master of the crane style. Ah Chi happens upon his soon-to-be instructor when he stumbles across his home and gets caught stealing fish. This fisherman is master of the fishtail pole technique. And lastly, Ah Fu learns the Yang family deadly kicks from Madame Fung, a bean curd vendor who he helps fight off some thugs. All 3 instructors are resistant to teaching the 3 students, but eventually give in to their charms. We now spend the rest of the film following these 3 students throughout their training. Now, I referenced Invincible Shaolin earlier because of the training similarities, but the truth is that Five Super Fighters misses the mark, primarily because a majority of the time is spent on Ah Fu's training. Don't get me wrong, Madame Fung, played by Wang Mei Mei, is fantastic as his teacher. Her footwork, kicks, and flexibility are equal to that of Lily Li, if not better. Plus, we get a fantastic scene by way of her father and Ah Fu, who engage in an egg fight that is also glorious. But those scenes take up a lot of screen time, and we don't get to know the other 2 teachers as well. Lam Fai Wong, yes, that guy from Fist of the White Lotus, is not really believable as a crane-style master, and Jamie Luck Kim Ming is good as a pole fighting master, but still, we don't get to spend enough time with him to care. Each of these students has promised to go away for 6 months and will return on Master Han's birthday, which they eventually will do. Speaking of Master Han, throughout the film, he's just been laying low and developing his prowess with the broadsword and what appears to be some form of drunken-style footwork. One of his friends has been coming over and filling the void so that he doesn't feel lonely after his students apparently abandoned him. He practices his kung fu with his dining companion and even finds the time to get his ass handed to him again by the man in black. Yikes! Over time, Master Han becomes quite proficient with his new weapon, just in time for his birthday. The 3 students arrive at Master Han's place and are initially rebuffed by their teacher for abandoning him after their first encounter with the man in black. The students convince their teacher to go out with them and celebrate his birthday, which he does. While dining and drinking food and wine, our villain shows up at the restaurant. Apparently, the students send him a challenge note and wish to give him a taste of their new kung fu as a gift for their master. The 3 engage in a battle, and I was surprised to see that while there were some improvements in each student's fighting styles, it still wasn't enough to prevail over their antagonist. In hindsight, it actually makes sense, since the 3 students were only gone 6 months, not nearly enough time to become masters. Nevertheless, in the end, it's up to Master Han to deliver the ass-whooping this bad guy so clearly deserves. The 3 students eventually join in, and the villain is eventually defeated. Five Super Fighters is an entertaining film, but does not have the same panache as a Venom's Mob movie, the likes of Invincible Shaolin. The plot is relatively basic, with each character given very little depth of explanation. The hero characters are decent, but pretty hard to tell apart, with the exception of Tony Leung Soo Hung from Jackie Chan's 36 Crazy Fists. His boyish charm and charisma stands out amongst the three students. In the best of kung fu movies, the villain is given some form of motivation for his behavior. Here, the main antagonist is merely a very unpleasant stranger whose whole purpose is to start trouble with those he deems unworthy. Thankfully though, this film is packed with good kung fu choreography to make up for its inequities. Each character has their own distinct style. The postures, stances, footwork, and acrobatics all seem to blend in nicely. The film does a great job of demonstrating Madame Fung's martial skill, and I literally chuckled during her fight scenes. When watching this film with the crew, I was asked, who are the 5 super fighters? And my guess is that the producers of this film were trying to be clever by suggesting that the 5 are Master Han, his 3 pupils, and the Man in Black, but I can't confirm that theory. Anyway, 5 Super Fighters is overall a good film. Fairly entertaining, but not at the level of Chang Cheh's Invincible Shaolin, which is the gold standard for this type of film. So I'll give it a solid 8 kicks. Well, that's all for now. Tell us how you feel about 5 Super Fighters. Is it in the upper echelon of Sha Fu? Comment below and let us know. And please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe for more great content. Until next time, this is the Lone Wolf, OG Ant, signing off. Peace and love, family. Out.